with BMW Vlog, and I'm currently in the Z4 M40i Hanshalter package. That's right, this is a manual, but as you can see, I am in downtown Manhattan. Not the ideal place for this. So I think it's about time to put up the top since it's starting to rain and go find some roads that are kind of made for this car. Now let's talk about what makes this car special, and that is this 6-speed manual. It's got a nice throw, it's positioned perfectly, and it's just got a slightly notchy feel. According to BMW, this gearbox was developed in-house and features M-specific components for the gear sets and shafts, and it feels like an M gearbox. But BMW didn't just stop with the transmission. It also has a bespoke shift mechanism as well, which includes the connecting rod to the transmission, its guides, and shift lever, making it feel, like I said, just right in this car. And makes throws fantastic. The clutch feels really good. It engages at right around the midpoint, so there's plenty of throw to work with. It's not too heavy, which is nice, but it does give you enough weight that it doesn't just flop to the floor. Now, last night when I was driving out of Manhattan, it was getting a little tiring, so it's definitely not made for stop-and-go traffic. But for mountain roads like this, it feels fantastic. Now this does have the auto rev matching downshift, and you know, I think on the M2 I didn't really care for it too much, but then again, that was a lot of track driving. Out here for a cruise in this roadster, you know, I kind of like it. And I think another reason why is the gap between the brake and the gas is quite wide. They're not very close together, so it makes it a little harder. You can't just roll your foot to the side. It's more of a true heel toe that you're trying to do. It makes it a little bit more difficult, especially if you have some smaller feet. The gearing may be a tad bit long, but I'm not really driving it very hard, so I'm not 100% certain on that one. The great thing about this combination of the 6-speed manual and B58 is it doesn't have to be really high in the revs. I mean, I've been playing around in the 3,000 to 5,000 range, and it's just fantastic. You have the amazing sound that you can hear thanks to the top down, and it's just got so much torque in that range that it just makes it a lot of fun to play. The other nice thing is you don't have to be going really fast to be able to enjoy it. Now this B58 has been specifically tuned for this package, and what that does is allows the torque, the max torque, which I was talking about earlier that seems to be really down low, max all the way up to 5,000 RPMs, which is 500 RPMs more than the automatic version. Now that is a huge torque band, and it allows for this manual transmission to be just a little bit more fun, right? You're allowed to run through the gears and not have to be shifting to keep it right in a tight little RPM band. If you're a little bit low or a little bit high, it still pulls incredibly well. . Now, one thing that does bug me about this, and it's pretty much in all BMWs, I'm not the biggest fan of how the throttle feels. There is quite a delay. I'm not sure if that's through tuning or just because there's a lot of power from the turbos and there's a lot of lag, but there's definitely a delay if you're going on and off the throttle very hard. In the M2, I noticed it quite a bit. The Z4 has it as well, but not as noticeable. It could just be the B58 versus the M2 engine, but when you do floor it, you do get just a little bit of delay. And if you're trying to do a lot of fun things, that delay can be a little distracting at times. A lot of people are going to say, oh, they should have made a Z4M, but this B58 is just the right combination of power with the weight of this car. You don't need an M car for this. I mean, yes, it would be fun, especially if it was a clown shoe again, but the power to weight ratio on this is so good, it's just right. Ah, so good. Now, if anyone's driven in New Jersey or New York, you'll know how bumpy the roads are. And the suspension on this may be a little over dampened. It does bounce a little bit, but these roads are incredibly bouncy. This does have a staggered wheel setup of 19 inches in the front and 20 in the rear. So there's not a lot of tire to help with that suspension. There is a ton of traction though. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Yes! This being the Roadster, you're down low, you're seated kind of back in the car with that long front end. I don't have the front end feel as I do in like the M2 or M3. I don't feel quite as much as what the front tire is trying to tell me. But I mean, it's minuscule, and this isn't for track. This is for cruising like this, and it's more than enough fun and gives you enough feedback to where you definitely know what's going on. But I definitely lose just a little bit of that feel from the M2s and M3 and M4. And I'm not just sitting over those rear 20-inch wheels, I'm also sitting over the M rear differential, which comes out of the M240i. And it does a great job, especially in these incredibly tight, twisty roads. It has been so planted. I've never really felt like the rear end has wanting to step out on me. And it just is very confidence inspiring, which that's what you really want on these type of roads. You don't want to be scared. You don't want to be white knuckled. You just want to have a good time, enjoy the ride, and be able to drive it how you want and push it as hard as you want and not have to worry about maybe putting one in the ditch. I do love being in this Roadster though and sitting back low, back by the rear wheels. I can feel it kind of bounce around and shift a little bit more, which is great, especially on curvy roads like this. That is so good. One of the additional suspension things that's been improved is the front anti-roll bars mounts have been stiffened. And with the recalibrated adaptive suspension, it really changes up the dynamics of this. With all of these suspension tweaks, this chassis has been incredibly rigid today and has shown almost no body roll through all of these corners, just making it extremely composed and planted no matter how hard I seem to be pushing it. Wow, I've never been up here in this part. It is absolutely gorgeous in spring. Everything's green. This road, just wow. The brakes feel good. Definitely give it enough stopping power for driving around on these roads. Don't seem to have noticed any fade so far, and I've been on these back roads now all morning. Then again, I'm not pushing super hard. Now I say I like that rear end feel because with the manual transmission, I like to keep it a little bit in that torque band. I like to be able to feel it, do its thing. Not right now, obviously, because it is a Saturday afternoon and there are a lot of people out here. But this morning I did get a few minutes when I got out just after sunrise and got to push it. And I really appreciated the weight balance of this one. And this is just so much fun. Though I've been having fun all day in this, I really haven't driven that far. And I just noticed that I've used up about 3/4 of the tank. This is a pretty small car, so I'm guessing it has a fairly small fuel tank, which is okay on weekend cruises like this. I think I've done a lot more than what most people would do today, but it is something to note. If you're looking to do a very long, fun drive, you may have to fuel up once or twice because it's only 1 p.m. and like I said, I've already gone through 3/4 of that tank. So that is one little drawback of having a small little fun roadster. Now, unfortunately, I've not driven the automatic version, just this 6-speed manual. And I do know there has been some tweaks between the two. And first one is that suspension tuning that I've been talking about. And though it is a very firm ride, it still was very compliant on the freeway. I didn't feel like it was too much. New York and New Jersey roads are quite rough, but it didn't feel too bad to, if you needed to go on a road trip, it wouldn't be tiring you out like a lot of M suspensions do, which is nice. Especially since in the rear it has 20-inch wheels too, which have the tendency to make things a little bit stiffer and harsher than normal. This really doesn't feel like it's riding on 20-inch wheels in the rear. You know, like you ride in a lot of the M cars and you can just feel the harshness and the day-to-day just too much. So this not being a M car, it's just a little bit nicer, which makes these drives in the mountain so nice. God, this is so enjoyable. I literally could do this all day, and I have. I've just been driving back and forth on about 4 or 5 different roads and just thoroughly enjoying this. Now I'm a fairly tall guy at a little over 6'2", but just like every BMW I've ever driven or owned, I fit fantastically in this. Now granted, the seat is just about all the way back and all the way down, but I'm comfortable. It has the leg extenders in the seats, which is fantastic. I'm in a great driving position. I love that my butt feels so far down. My hips are up. My feet are in a great position. I'm dead on with the steering wheel, which is nice and comfortable. Now, I would kind of maybe like one of the new steering wheels, which have that flat bottom because my knees and legs are so close to it. But I haven't bumped it yet, so I mean, it would just be kind of like a nice to have. It doesn't require it. The only real side effect from being a tall guy in this car, the windscreen is a little bit low. It's fine, I can see the road, but if you're trying to see stoplights or road signs, they get blocked out. I had a lot of trouble in New York last night seeing the stoplights. I was having to really dip down to see that. But I'm not getting hit in the head with wind, so who really cares about stoplights, right? Gives it just that nice, sleek, low profile. If you caught our first impressions video from Florida, we only got to drive it for about a mile. And here, even though we got it for just a day, I was able to get out of downtown and head up into New York to some beautiful driving roads. And I'm happy I did, because the sun came out and it allowed me to drop that top and experience what this car is all about, which is exactly this. Saturday cruising, curvy roads through the forest. And I am having an amazing time. It is beautiful up here. The B58 in this car, the B should just stand for burbles. I love it. You throw it in sport mode, and when you roll on and off that throttle, it just gives you those nice pops, which it's, so good with the top down. I just giggle every time I downshift. Dude, these switchbacks are sweet. Wow. Okay, this car shines on this. I'm getting all the scenery because the top's down. I'm hearing the burbles, the engine revs. I'm even getting some intake sound. Yes. Yes. It's definitely not a full-on M car. It just feels a little bit more refined. The B58 has been in so many different BMW vehicles, but it's just so good. And I think this may be its best combination yet. And I may say ever. So the B58, probably one of the best BMW, if not the best BMW engines ever, and in its best package ever. So what does that make this? It makes this, if you want a fun cruising car, go pick one of these up.